What is the crack, folks? Welcome along to another episode of the Gym Advisors podcast with myself, your host as always, Andy Clavin. Today's episode is one we've had in the works for quite some time. Around a month ago, I saw that today's guest, Anthony Clavin, had put the call out for meal plans that people had previously bought from influencers and that he was going to follow when he was sent to the letter to see what results he could get from it. I got in touch with him that very day and I set this call up because it was definitely something that I was interested in seeing the results of. I won't spoil it, but the conversation is absolutely fascinating, and Anto was great crack with strong opinions on the industry. So without further ado, let's get to it. Anto, how the hell are you?
Hey, what's up?
Well, we're good, man. I'm delighted. I'm really excited about this chat because not only is it good to chat to you, it's going to be great to chat about what we're going to be talking about because it's something that's a bugbear of mine, and it sounds like it's a bugbear of yours, and you've done some scientific research.
The dirty influencer 30-day challenges. They can fuck off. Yeah, absolutely, man.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah. Asher, listen. Yeah, it's all right. I sure it all over mine.
No, but come here. So look, before we even get into that sort of stuff, let's lay the table. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am just a fitness enthusiast, right? I've gone through every bit of fitness you can do. I'm into absolutely everything as far as fitness. I suppose my background will be like obviously field sports, like kind of MMA, jiu-jitsu, that kind of background. And it's always within, like, I'm really old, man. I'm 36, so I'm basically nearly dead. So like throughout the whole my sports career, let's call it, I was always strength conditioning focused. Even when it was just like hiking in mountains, I was always trying to figure out like, how can I do this better? How can I do this more efficiently? So when I got into being a strength conditioning coach, moving coach, and a CrossFit coach, I just it made sense for me for sure. And what I'm into is the more kind of, let's call it, like, I'm into high-end elite training for sure. Like in our gym, Wildway CrossFit, we have several elite, amazing folk. But I'm also, what a big part of for me is the holistic side of like CrossFit and strength conditioning, the inclusive side of it, the people who've never done anything before, getting them fit, getting them up and going. That's side that's really rewarding for me as well. So just being able to just like layer fitness into people's lives until they don't realize they're fit, they're strong, they're able, and then all of a sudden they're just these unreal people. They're like, when the fuck did that happen? You know what I mean? When the fuck did that happen? So that's my side of like holistic sneaky fitness. I love it. Like, instead of going in and just being like, okay, today guys, we're doing 10 burpees, we're doing this, because there's a lot about, fitness training that just is so fucking boring to me. Like, so boring to me. Oh my god! Like when I was teaching programs for gyms, like back in the day, and you'd go in and you'd look at the sheet and you're like, oh Jesus, really? Like little Tabata again, is it? Cool, great. There's a lot that's really boring about fitness to me. So try bring that in the program in Wildway for sure. The holistic side of fitness and just the all inclusivity. That's what I'm into. That's big time what I'm into. So I suppose that's my background, but that's also where I'm at today.
That's unreal. So like I had to laugh as you were going through that because it's so you've done so much. But where did it start? Has fitness always been a part of your life?
Yeah, man. My granddad just making me run up mountains and do push-ups. That's that's where my fitness started. I actually live next door to him, so I'll be from Dublin originally. Can you tell? And I'm now living out in Connemara, in Moycullen, and I actually live next door to my granddad, which is delish. But
now,
yeah, he was the drill sergeant. Yeah. I moved in next door. We managed to get the house right beside him, which is pretty cool, out in Connemara, middle of nowhere. It's good crack. But he was definitely always there. Like he was a hurling trainer, all the way up to Dublin Miners, and I just followed that. To bits, like, and he was just a hard ass. Do you know what I mean? He was just a badass. So he just made me train all the time, and then that's where I got the love of it. But it's the how can I put this? Like, so I'm 36, right? I'm 36. So, like, I'm not going to say I'm almost dead, right? I'm not almost dead, right?
You've already said it, I'm afraid.
I can still do backflips. No, but a lot of people my age need the kind of fitness that I'd be doling out. You know what I mean? They need resistance training. They need to get out of breath once or twice a week. Like even simple stuff like that. You need to sweat it out. And like I know a lot of people my age that are really, really, really struggling with like sedentary based diseases and stuff like that. So I have felt the benefit of fitness. So that's my main goal in fitness, is just to bring that to people.
Yeah.
Even just the the little tip of fitness.
That's, in fairness, that's unreal. And you did talk earlier on about being sneaky, and I really like that because that seems to be a really good, successful way of introducing people to it and getting they don't even realize
Yeah,
it,
man,
but they're
have fun
enjoying
with
it.
it.
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
Exactly, yeah.
But like you talked about being sneaky, what I think we get it because of what you've told us already. But what is, in your own words, what's your kind of overall approach to fitness?
I'm a big fan of progressive overload for
Mm.
sure. I like the science based approach for sure. It's not about, you know what I mean. Like that's why I don't think like this is a weird thing to say. I don't really like spinning or Zumba or body fit or Les Mills and all that kind of stuff, because it's just like where is the calculated progress? Do you know what I mean? Where's the coach that's looking at you, like say and doing various resistance training, and where's the coach looking at you and going, oh, okay, here's where we could fix your form. Here's where we could put kilos in your squat. Here's where we could build over the next year or next 2 years, whatever, and get you to become a really efficient lifter or a very efficient athlete. I just think that like the strength conditioning model is for sure, like the coach led strength conditioning
Mm.
model for me is just the best thing in the world. I get to deeply see and understand every single person in my gym, and I get to progress them over time, um, through very different ways of progressing them. But yeah, progressive overload is for sure something I'm into.
100%. So that really does lay the table nicely for what we're going to chat about. So instead of me messing it up with my clumsy vocabulary, you undertook a challenge recently. What did you do?
Man, so the last lockdown, there was a million 30-day challenges came out, right? Would you agree? A fucking million of them, right? All these shit PTs came out of the woodwork, just going, yeah, you could do a little squat here, you can do a little push up here, just all this like shit that no one was doing. Like no one was doing like shitty like I don't know, just crap little workouts at home. Do you know what I mean? We now there's good gyms putting out good home workouts. Like don't get me wrong here, but no one was putting just stuff online for likes that was good. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it was just such basic, like, let's call it like, oh, how can I put this? Just basically bread and butter. Like, this is a bit of a squat, like, and they're doing like a little quarter squat, and like this is a bit of a push up, and they're doing this and this. Like, just a lot of shy. Movement was shy. I was like, who's doing this? Who's progressing while doing this? And then all these influencers came out with these 30-day challenges. How can I? Yeah, give me 1 second. So the influencers came out with these 30-day challenges. What really annoyed me was the influencers that I knew for a fact were on all the juice in the world. All the juice in the world, just on every single Mexican supplement you could get your hands on. Do you know what I mean? Like I know, I know one of them from an old gym of mine who just does t-ball all day, and was putting out a 30 like six pack challenge. It's like, yeah, you're stop didn't fucking mention that you're just injecting your hoop full of juice, like, do you know what I mean? So I was like, well, why don't you put that challenge out? Do you know what I mean? 30-day inject your hoop full of juice challenge. But anyway, that was what was going on. So I seen these like ripped out people who were like putting up photos from years ago as they were competing, where they were down to like 5% body fat, 5 to 4% body fat, where their hydration levels were so low they probably couldn't even walk out of the photo shoot. You know what I mean? They probably had someone, well, more than likely, because I've seen it. They have people with like electrolytes and an IV waiting at the photo shoot to rehydrate them after that photo shoot. Do you know what I mean? And yet they're putting these photos out to do with like wellness and fitness and like health and all that. It was like if you gave that person another hour after that photo shoot without water, they would have died. Do you know what I mean? So that's their 30-day challenge, right? And all these diets kept coming around. And then people want to get involved in things. You know what I mean? People want to, there's a group mentality. People want to get involved in things. So people do the challenge, right? And even if it does fuck all for them, they will put their picture online and go, oh, look, I lost a load of weight on this challenge. Ha ha. And they'll tag that whatever fucking bodybuilder dickhead that did that. And they, for some reason, will perpetuate these challenges. So anyway, the person I chose was the plan. I put a plan out there, or sorry, put a post out there saying, I'm going to do a 30-day challenge. to see if they're real, right? I didn't want to come at it at a negative standpoint. I didn't want to go, these are bollocks, let me do one. Even though obviously I had it in my head that I don't think they work, but I was trying to be as open as I could about it,
Yeah.
right? So I put it out there. I was like, send me your 30-day challenges that you've done. And I got loads of them. I got hundreds of them. I was like inundated with them. I was like sitting there looking through all these like diets, and I decided I'd go with the one I was sent the most. The one I was sent the most, right? So it was a bodybuilder slash wellness guru, right? Who's decided that who I reckon has just wrecked their body on juice and now is going that body positive route, if you know what I mean. So it's just like I've wrecked myself, so now I'm body positive. That sounds a bit negative, but listen, prove me wrong. And so instead of like ripped out trap photos, they're now doing like photos with their legs crossed next to waterfalls. So it's all changed, buddy. Anyway, and then like then all their wellness stuff is then when they're ripped out like at whatever like IIBB PPCC Pro whatever events, they're just like, oh. So anyway, I just thought, right, I'll do that one, right. The diet, I said I'd do it 30 days and I was going to do it to the max because I was used to kind of like making weight for like some jiu-jitsu tournaments, stuff like that. So I was like, I can stick to something for 30 days. That's okay. Like I'm good at that. So I started the diet. I had a look at it. The diet was like a really bad version of keto. A really bad version of keto. So it was like all meats, some fruit, a lot of whey protein, a small amount of veg. It wasn't very balanced. So straight away, just from my background, I knew like this wasn't that balanced. Like this is not a good sustainable diet. The diet also was prefixed with this is for elite athletes. So that's why I picked it as well. Not that I'm saying elite athlete or anything like that, but I'm fit, I'm strong, I do well. And it's for elite athletes to get better, especially a CrossFit athlete, they mentioned, to get better, fitter, faster, stronger, while getting leaner. And at the end of the diet, you should be a better athlete as well. So I decided I'd lay down a plan. I'd lay down a test. My first test was a half marathon, a mountain half marathon. So what 21.5 or something K anyway. So that was my like longevity test, my sustained energy test. Then I decided I need something heavy and need something gymnastic and I need something kind of like lactic mankiness, right? So I said I would do a 20 cal row. This is for time, so in 3 minutes, 20 cal row, 5 muscle ups, and as many cleans as I could do with 80 kilos on the bar. So a clean, for anyone that doesn't know, you take the bar from the ground and you put it on your shoulders in a front rack position. So you get it to your shoulders, then you drop the bar, pick it up again. There's so much more to it than that to clean, but anyway, that's the gist of the clean, right? Just in case anyone doesn't know. So that was my test. So I had strength, so body weight strength-ish. I had muscle up, so that was like, explosive gymnastics test. And then lactic mankiness from the rower. And that was as much as I could do in 3 minutes. So anyway, I got my numbers from that. And that's where I set off. That day, I started the diet. After I did the test. So I had a breakfast, and then after I did the test, I started that diet. It was really sad. It started with a fast day. So after me just being wrecked from like a half marathon and going straight to that workout, I had to go straight into a fast day, which was just rough, man. Andy was rough. It was terrible. My stomach was just basically coming out the back of me, like it was terrible.
And
but luckily, actually, yeah.
No, I was just going to say, so that's how it started, and we can get we can get to the results. But how did you feel? Not so much before, because that's you were living your general life, but across the 30 days, was it ebbs and flows? How did you actually feel during and doing it? And then we'll get to whether that was worth it or not.
Okay, yeah. So I had some little revelations about it. Like I woke up. I would wake up in the morning and I'd just be bam, just like awake straight away. Like, I had no lag when I woke up. I just was like ready to get into it. So I was getting up at I get up early anyway. But getting up at 10 to 6, half 5 in the morning, and going out and doing runs, getting to the gym, all that kind of stuff. I had no lag. But I would hit the middle of the day and I would just plummet straight up. I'd have to go for a sleep and that's hard with a new baby. I have a new baby, so that was that was seriously rough.
You're a glutton for punishment doing this 3 or 4 months in, like.
Absolutely. Well, do you know what? It just annoyed me. It annoyed me so much that people were doing this, and it was so see through. Like it was so see through. People in the industry, like me and you, Andy, um, we're more open to the world these days. Do you know what I mean? Like with Instagram, with all our various social medias, your podcast, we're open to the world. We see everything. We know what's going on. Um, how do people with all the information in the world just buy into these folk? Do you know what I mean? Buy into these folk. Like everyone knows what bodybuilders are around, like are about. Like if you don't know what they're about, like don't get me wrong, I love bodybuilding. I actually love bodybuilding. I have the encyclopedia of bodybuilding in my gym, and every now and then I whip out a workout from it. Like I absolutely love it. So don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not slagging bodybuilding. I actually really enjoy the sport. I think it's amazing what people can do. But let's just be honest. Like everyone's on juice. You know what I mean? Like, let's be honest about that. Like I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong for sure. So when I see these people kind of like throwing that out, like, oh, this is what I did to get this body. It's like, yeah, maybe, but you just fucking left out the whole foundation. You're a gaff. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Yeah, it was interesting. I forget the question, Andy. I forget the question. What was the original question? Oh yeah, how it made me feel. How it made me feel. They're going on about juice, which is shut up, Anton. So how it made me feel when I was running. So I'll go through the different mediums, right? So let's say I do like 2 long runs a week, 1 short run, and then just do all the rest of my programming in the gym. So I do a general, like a really good CrossFit strength and conditioning program that's very even across the board. You know what I mean? It's progressive overload. It is just it gets you strong, gets you fit, fast, gets you supple, gets you skilled as well. So I really enjoy our gym's programming. The amazing Holly Hodgins does all that, and she's savage. Like she's unreal. And I've become definitely a fitter, stronger bastard because of her. So as far as running is concerned, I've talked about daily energy, right? As far as running is concerned, I would get cold at around 10k, like unbelievably cold. So after my fast, I definitely was like into ketosis, because if you think about it, right, I fueled it beforehand, right, but then I did 21k and a big k, then I did that workout, and then I fasted for the whole next day. So like I definitely was probably in ketosis around that stage for sure, like in and around that, I reckon. So then as soon as I was doing my long runs around 10k, I get cold, like deeply core cold, that kind of like I wasn't really sweating that much. The sweat that I was there was kind of like cold, and I just get really cold, and like couldn't, even though like say I was doing like there's this lovely 16k loop for the whole last 6k, I'd just be freezing, just freezing my ass off. I'd also at around 12 13k I hit a barrier, so I just hit a bit of a wall, and it would just be pure like just getting through that wall was just absolutely was just pure bastard head in me, just going, I have to get through this, I have to get through this.
And just for, as I knock the desk with all my equipment on it, the that, like, just as a very easy question, what difference is that to how you would feel on a normal run when you were in control of your own nutrition?
So definitely with the glycogen store, with carbs generally, I would just have a more even well, not even more even, I would just have something in the tank. You know what I mean, Andy? So I'd have something there that when I needed to push, I could go back on. Because on longer runs, you don't want to be sprinting any part of your longer run because you're gonna feck it. You know what I mean? You're gonna get halfway through. And my mountain loop around here is like a big mountain. There's no like back out clause. You just go around 2 mountains. So it's like you have to have like nice even energy. Yeah, you can push it, but you can't be sprinting. So I'd always have that just little bit of just petrol in the tank just to get back. Whereas with this, it was like I was just hitting that, and there was just nothing left, and it was pure just like goodwill getting me through. As far as gymnastics, like muscle ups, pull ups. This is what I mean by gymnastics, like strength conditioning style gymnastics, like handstands, pull ups, muscle ups, flips, even box jumps, stuff like that. I was flying. I was flying. I had infinite energy. I was working towards like 30 unbroken muscle ups. Like I really had like a lot of just like as my weight was coming down, strength was kind of staying the same. It was only a month, so you're not going to use too much muscle. So as my weight came down, like I lost 6.5 kilo, like 6.5 kilo. Like I'm only 5'9", like so that like I ended up like a lot lighter than I should be. Do you know what I mean? So, but gymnastics was good. Okay, so there was a good positive point there. But heavyweights, man, heavyweights felt so heavy. Like barbells, just when you pick up a barbell and there's nothing on it, you're like, Jesus, is this a 40 kilo barbell? You know what I mean? Like there was just it felt like that. It felt like even barbells felt heavy, like everything felt heavy. Man, you just need them carbs. You need them carbs for sure. You need that glycogen store, or else you are going down. So everything felt heavy. Like heavy squats felt like shy. So we're building up a percentage of squats per week, progressive style, going towards 1 rep max. And like for the whole month, I had to keep dropping my percentage lower than they were at the start. Even though the reps were coming down, I had to keep dropping my weight, which sucked. Which sucked because I was working for a long time towards that. But yeah, so that was rough, man. I am a like mood wise, I know that affects a lot of people. Like I am definitely like perpetually happy dude. I'm a perpetually happy dude. So it didn't really affect my mood, but I have to say like there was moments where my girlfriend Holly would like be eating a bit of chocolate, and I just like give her a quick kiss afterwards, just so I could taste the chocolate. I was like, oh my god, this is so good. That's so good. So yeah, it was absolutely, yeah, it was pure take, but like I stuck to it. She'll tell you I stuck to it diligently. Like I was a wagon about sticking to this because I just wanted to show it was correct.
Cool.
Anyway, as far as results are concerned, it didn't go well. It didn't go well. I lost like 10 or 11 minutes and not lost as in I added 10 or 11 minutes to my half marathon, which is not good. That's a lifetime. 10 or 11 minutes is like the difference between someone getting through it or someone fit getting through it. You know what I mean? I got 11 reps of the 80 kilo clean. I only got 7 that time. I lost 6.5 kilos in the very end. And like, let's be honest, right? If you're an elite athlete, and I'm not a total elite athlete, but I'm fit and strong. Do you know what I mean? Actually, I'm coming second in the tribal lockdown at the moment, so fuck it, I am an elite athlete. Big up Ryan for putting that on. Absolute legend. Throw on the tribal throwdown during lockdown, which I love. But if this isn't going to make me strong and fit, like who's it going to make strong and fit? You know what I mean? I just don't see any science in how that was going to make me strong and fit. And listen, I'm not like I'm a believer in a balanced diet, like a nice balance in your diet, and that includes shite as well. Do you know what I mean? Like you gotta have like a bit of shite, you gotta have a bit of happiness in your life. But I just don't understand how it was gonna make me that, and yet she sold thousands of these. You know what I mean? Thousands and thousands of these. So it's like she's made so much money.
So two things about the individual plan then. So it was marketed as performance. Like someone might look
Yes.
someone who isn't at your level would look at your results maybe and say, I don't give a shit about the run. I don't give a shit about the cleans and whatever else. I care about my
Yeah.
6.5
Yeah.
kilos, which is a fucking shame, but it's just the way it is. And
That's true.
we need to work on this. But this was, I think you
Yeah.
mentioned at the start, this was marketed as a performance plan.
Yeah. Fitter, stronger, faster. Well, I believe it was said. Perfect for CrossFit athletes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so how much was it, and B, what was the experience like? Was it hands on? Was it hands off? Was it here's your plan and fuck off?
So I didn't buy the program
Okay.
because I don't want anyone knowing. I don't want to listen. I know I shit on things a lot, and I enjoy shitting on things. Do you know what I mean? And people enjoy being shit on. Sorry, on things being shit on. But I didn't want to. Firstly, I didn't want to fund this kind of thing,
Yeah.
right? Which sounds bad. But also, if like I bought a program and then did my whole challenge, then that would be quite bad, wouldn't it? That would
Yeah.
be quite bad. At the end of the day, like they're just a person as well. I don't want
Yeah.
to like direct like I feel bad, and I feel bad even saying it like that. Like, but like yeah. So anyway, I got it off someone who was very angry at it
Okay.
initially, and I talked to. So I got the program sent a lot of times to me, and then the person that sent me that I knew, kind of gave the in-depth chat. I don't know how much it was. I don't know how much it was, but it was a cookie cutter version of the plan. So it wasn't like individualized for them. It was just like, hey, you should try this sheet of A4 paper.
Oh, okay,
You know?
okay, okay.
Yeah. So that's why actually it was even crapper.
Well, that's another thing as well, because it's the difference between, and look, some plans hands on, hands off. As long as they're individualized at the start, it's kind of for people to learn and decide for themselves.
Yeah,
But
for
look,
sure.
it is what it is. Um,
Yeah,
you mentioned a couple of things that you said you've learned stuff. You learned a few bits. What did you learn?
man. What I learned about the now I've used keto before
Hmm.
as far as like making weight for like tournaments and stuff like that, because like I used to go, like when I started jiu-jitsu, I did a lot of tournaments. Then towards the end, when I was kind of like teaching it and stuff like that, I actually only ended up doing like two or three. But at the start, I used to go in at 73 kilos, which is like pretty light for me. Like I'm 80 kilos at the moment, like, and before this I was 86.5. But I do it for like 2 weeks, get down, and it'd be grand. I just use it and then go straight back on carbs afterwards. In fact, the morning off, like after I weighed in. But this time around, it was more sustained. It was a full month, and what I learned is that you can get a serious energy, like daily energy and cognitive function from that diet. Like, and oh, man, like I keep saying, I love a balanced diet, and I do love a balanced diet. And what I learned about myself is that I was probably over carbing a bit too much.
Okay.
If I could, like, I was still training 6 days a week while doing this diet. You know what I mean? I was on my CrossFit program, I was doing my runs, all that kind of stuff. So I wasn't I didn't stop training for sure. And what I learned most is that I probably over carb a bit too much, and that I could time my carbs better, and that there's something to keto, but there should be a bit of a balance in it for sure. Like if I know what I'm doing for the whole of next week's, which I do, because with program in the gym, then I should be timing carbs. So what I learned is that carb cycling is the way to go for sure. Especially after this last week of not being on it, like carb cycling is the way to go.
100%. That's cool. So one question that people might expect me to ask, I suppose, is look, your focus is definitely on strength and conditioning, performance, all that sort of stuff.
Mm.
You know yourself. You've gone into it. You said you've gone into it with a big open mind, but at the same time, you had an idea that it was going to be shit. So if someone was to criticize
Yeah,
if someone was to criticize it like that, how would you respond to them?
man. Do you know what? That's totally fair. But I have, like, you can't have all these years of experience in your head and not look at a sheet of paper and go, that's not that good. You know what I mean? Like so how so I that's why I put down the plans. That's why I put down the plan. That's why I tested it in as best a way possible. And listen, I like it's lockdown. I don't have the most scientific testing uh, available. Do you know what I mean? Like there's so much you could do. You could like DEXA, in body, whatever. You could have done all that. Like it's the middle of lockdown. Like I don't have any of that. Like I could do hydration tests, all this kind of stuff. There's so much more you could do, right? All I could do was do the test, do it as fairly as possible. Like go my hardest at it. So at the start, I went my hardest at it, and I had a full week of training before that. So I wanted to make sure that at the same time I had a full week of training, and then did so I made sure that I bookended uh, the end of the challenge with as even a test as possible. I stuck to it diligently. So all I could do was be as honest about it as possible. But yeah, listen, I did have negative, but like you can't be years in a business. You know what I mean? You can't be like what's a good example? Like I don't know, like you can't be just years doing something, have something shown to you that you think is shy, and go, actually, no, that is great. You know what I mean? Like you can't be, but you can have an open mind and you can test it in an honest way. And I think I tested it in an honest way. So that would be my argument there.
Yeah, and I think that's obviously the case to anyone who's looking in from the outside. As you said, in the situation that you're in, it was as fair and balanced as it possibly could have been.
Yeah. Well, I think so. I did my best. I did my best, and I've loads of friends, like close friends, who like love keto. They're like
Mm.
big fans of keto. Like, and there's elements to it that I did enjoy, but I don't think it's. I think you're better off balance.
Yeah, 100%. So you kind of did this in terms of influencers and online plans just to kind of test that particular one or whatever it was. What influence do you think influencers are having on the fitness industry as a whole?
Well, I'll answer this with a question to you. What? I'm gonna put it the fuck in here, so be careful, man. What the fuck do you think someone who's dehydrated gets a pump on real quick, does steroids for a photo shoot? What do you think that has to do with fitness?
Well, look, it's not necessarily just about that type of influencers. It's people who are like
No, 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 absolutely, absolutely.
Go on.
But right, absolutely. I know it's not just that, but that's a lot of them, man. That's a lot of them. Do you know what I mean? That's a huge amount of them. That's the ones I see, like, especially a lot of them come from Ireland as well. So this kind of like fitness thing, like this kind of fitness thing, has nothing to do with photo shoots. You know what I mean? Here's what fitness is for me. Fitness is community, enjoyability, and you just going out there, just like ragging it, doing your best, and then getting a bit fitter each time. Do you know what I mean? No quick fixes, just like you just like getting into it and getting a bit better each time. Do you know? But listen, yeah, there's obviously a lot of good influencers. Like there's loads of amazing people out there. Don't get me wrong. Influencers is even a dirty word. Like it's a dirty word in itself. Do you know? Like it's just someone doing their thing, trying to sell something. Like fair play to them. Well done. Absolutely. But there is just so much shite out there. Do you know what I mean? There's just, and it's hard for like young people to wade through. Like you go into standard gyms, like I've worked in standard gyms before. Do you know what I mean? And like, even, like people go in and there's no community. Everyone's got headphones on. Everyone's looking for machines. So that's why I went into like the coach led small class model. I think it's just the best way to go for sure. But if people are seeing that kind of like, just like that, let's say, photo shoot style influencer doing it, that's what they're going to think fitness is like. Going to a gym with your baseball cap on, with these certain clothes on, and doing these certain exercises. You know, for girls, it's all glute bridge stuff. For guys, it's all bench stuff. So it's yeah. I don't know. It's almost like there needs to be some kind of standards put on influencers, like some kind of test. But like, let's not get into that.
Well, look, like before we finish up here, it is something that we're trying to help address on the gymadvisors.ie with kind of raising that floor that when people come to the site, the industry, to the site, that they're assured of a certain level of service. And that's kind of what we're trying to do, because the amount of noise and nonsense and bullshit on social media
Yes.
wrecks my head, and that's
100%.
kind of what we're trying to address and fix in our own small way. So
Yeah.
I want to play a game before we finish up, Anto. We're going to play word association.
Is this like Saw?
Yeah.
Am I gonna die? Am I gonna die, Andy? Okay.
Your room is just going to turn black now, so you're fucked.
Okay.
Word association. 5 words. One word or 1 or 2 word responses, very quick, and we'll see how we get on.
Oh Jesus. Okay, put me on the spot.
4 words actually, because we've already gone through influencers. Diet plan.
Okay.
Diet plans.
Oh man, balance.
Skinny tea.
Bollocks. Complete bollocks. Skinny tea. Oh my god. Skinny tea is like the scourge. I had a mate who I worked in a gym where he used to be on skinny tea, and Jesus, like she was just in the jacks the whole time. Skinny tea, don't do it.
This was meant to be a word association, but I'm just on my phone here because I took a screenshot earlier on. It's from a post, a review basically of a post of a skinny tea. It's
perfect. Give us it.
Day 5 on my detox, and I'm down 2 pounds already. I already feel less bloated and much more energized. 5 days on a detox, and you're down 2 pounds. You've had a shit.
Oh my. Yeah. Basically, like how much is the log? I've never weighed me log, but like, yeah, that's all it is. Like, oh man, they're just such bollocks. Like the poor souls that buy them. Like, jeez, imagine sitting there, go to your spin class in a skinny tea. Like, fuck off.
Okay, let's move on. So 2020. What was 2020 like in 1 or 2 words?
Oh, absolute bollocks. I feel like we're getting screwed. Like I feel like just the fitness folk just got screwed in 2020. It's bad for us for sure. And I know we all kind of did our part to get it going, but listen, unless TDs owns gyms, they're never gonna get open. Do you know what I mean? That's why they're worried about pubs and all TD. There's no Jackie Healy fitness. Do you know what I mean? So like we're not gonna get open because they have no vested interest. So they're all just fucking muppets. Do you know what I mean? They're all just muppets. They just like they don't give a shit. McDonald's is open. McDonald's is open. How can you have any respect for your government when they decide McDonald's is essential and your gym isn't? Like we have a huge gym, right? We have a massive gym. We could have people not 2 meters apart. We could have people 20 feet apart. Do you know what I mean? 20 meters apart. They wouldn't even be able to talk to each other, let alone. But we can't do that. But people can saunter into McDonald's and just fucking wreck their insides. Just makes no sense.
No, I was going to say two things. This word association game has gone to shite.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean it.
And the petition for the campaigning for Anthony Clavin TD starts here.
Yeah. Vote for me. No bullshit.
Okay, let's hopefully finish on positive. Who the fuck knows what you think about this? 2021. What's it going to be like?
Man, 2021. It's gonna be just a lot more lockdowns. Come on, let's be honest. No, it won't. It won't. I think it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. We have a waiting list at our gym already for fundamentals. Obviously, in CrossFit, you have to do like a full fundamentals course before we don't throw anyone under a bar or anything like that. Maybe some do, but we don't. We like being careful with people. So we've waiting list for that. People want to get fit. People realize that if you are not fit, there's just a load of shite that can happen to you that is really preventable. So I think that's the year that people really start to realize that. I know people have already, but like if you lived a sedentary life, if you're a little bit overweight, if you're a little bit unhealthy, maybe smoke, maybe a drink, you are at risk. Simple as that. Simple as that. And it's not just coronavirus. It's like diabetes, loads of things, osteoporosis, like loads of things. So this hopefully will finally be the year for gyms that are good gyms that look after people, that are educated, and that help people progress out of their sedentary life and into a life of healthiness, and that leaves them, if you have made someone fit, you've given them a bulletproof jacket against diseases. You've given them the ability to help themselves for sure. So I'm hoping 2021 would be that year for sure, because we've all learned a lesson. If you haven't learned the lesson, you've been living in a bleeding hole. So that's my prediction.
That's unreal. And speaking of good gyms and having good years, you obviously can find Wildway CrossFit on thegymadvisors.e, but you're also on, where else can people find you?
Instagram, wildwaycrossfit.ie. Just shoot us a message. Have a look at our Instagram. Our Instagram and Facebook is a good. Our ethos comes across well on those, well across the board. We have a certain ethos. We're not one of those like go hard, go home kind of gyms. Like we're not that at all. We're not a Westside Barbell, as much as I love them lads, but we are the holistic side of CrossFit. We breed elite athletes or complete beginners. We get them up to speed. We just really enjoy bringing people on a fitness journey, and it's not all about what weight you're throwing around, how you're moving. It's just about getting in there and getting like a 0.001% every day. That's what we want.
Unreal. Anthony, you're a fascinating fella. Really enjoyed the chat. We will chat again with some of your more incredible fucking story and work and everything else. It's been good crack. Thanks very much, man. Oh, people can find you yourself on Instagram and all that jazz.
Yeah, Anthony Clavin on Instagram. Coach Anto, unreal.
Anthony, man, thanks so much for your time, dude.
Hey, nice man, Andy. Thank you very much.
To the rest of you though, as always, hasta la fitness, baby.